Today I would like to show you how I made my high-tech crew led by their high-tech captain, also known as the Tekker. Hi, so today I'm going to be showing you my Tekker captain and his crew, and I'll be showing you basically how I put that together and what my thought process was with it. But first of all, we need to say what a Tekker is, I suppose. Well, in Stargrave, the Tekker is a character who is obsessive about technology and gadgets. I mean, if you think of potential Tekkers from the movies or from stories, you're looking at people who use gadgets a lot to solve their problems. So somebody like maybe Batman, or maybe maybe Doc Brown from Back to the Future, or even like maybe James Bond, although he doesn't make the gadgets, he uses them a lot. I'm not sure if James Bond counts, but maybe Data from the Goonies. I'm going to be using models from the Stargrave Mercenaries box from North Star Military Figures. Basically everything you see in this video comes out of that box, except for the bases that I use, which are just the slightly chunkier 25mm round bases. One of the easiest ways to make a character look like he's got access to high-tech equipment is to give him some high-tech equipment. So on the Mercenaries sprue there is like an arm with a scanner in the hand, so I gave that to my captain to start with. I also gave him a bunch of little pouches and a backpack to make sure he looked like he had like a utility belt full of cool toys to play with. In the rules, the Tekker captain can also get access to a drone, depending on the skills you take. So I decided to make a drone for him, using some of those leftover bases from the box. So I stuck a couple of leftover bases together and added some of the bits of weapons and bits of equipment from the sprue, and I made like this drone thing. For the first mate I chose an alien head, and this one has a bionic eye, which I thought was really quite cool for the for this crew. I also modified his arm a little bit. I chopped off the hand and I replaced the hand with a hand from a different arm, and just kind of positioned it in a more relaxed way, so he just looks like he's a bit more at ease. Just try to give them a little bit more individual sort of character. For this crew, I thought I'd use some visual shortcuts so you know what each character is capable of just by looking at the models. So I decided that if a character had a bionic eye like this guy, then he would have a lock-picking ability, and that also meant it kind of showed that this crew maybe use high-tech solutions where other crews might use brute force in some situations. So the characters equipped with lockpicks have bionic eyes, and the characters equipped with decks have the little scanner-looking handheld things. So that means that my first mate has picks, and my captain is a hacker. So when I came to make the chiseler, I had to give him a bionic eye as well, and I also couldn't resist making a little tool for him out of one of the daggers. I just trimmed down the dagger a little bit and made essentially like a little bar. It's like a little Jimmyan bar. It kind of looks like a chisel, just in case he would like to use a little bit of brute force. I gave the hacker a deck and the smallest pistol I could find, just to help differentiate him from the captain. I did feel like in the end the captain and this guy ended up looking a little bit similar. But the captain did have some extra equipment, backpacks and things, and this guy does have an extra small pistol. So hopefully it doesn't cause confusion. Across the whole crew, I deliberately picked out the smallest weapons I could find in the box. And this is really just to suggest that these guys maybe don't use their firepower as their primary solution to their problems. Possibly also kind of shows that maybe they have some access to maybe more refined equipment than maybe some other crews do. This guy here is our medic. I gave him like some boxes and things. There's a couple of arms on the sprue which are carrying boxes. This one I thought looks more like a sort of general purpose box. There is one that's carrying like an ammo container, but this one I thought was our best looking med pack. This guy here is our Grenadier, and again I went for the smallest grenade launcher option on the sprue. and I quite liked it. And I liked the idea of using a Grenadier over the other options, because of course I could have had a flamethrower guy or a rapid fire guy in that slot as well, or for the same cost in the crew. But in the sprue or in the box, there isn't really an option to make a flamethrower guy, and I just felt like the Grenadier gave us more options in using smoke screens and things. I thought that was maybe more in keeping with our sort of brains over brawn kind of theme we've got going on. I quite like the idea of making smoke screens and just avoiding trouble, and if our guys get shot up a bit, then our medic can patch them up and we'll be good to keep moving on. These guys are our troopers. They're going to provide probably the most of the firepower the crew's going to have access to at the start. Apart from the first mate, these are the only guys in the crew that are armed with carbines, and I chose these. The weapons kind of look like I thought they kind of looked a bit like the pulse rifles from Aliens. That's what they looked like to me anyway. I thought they looked pretty cool. They're kind of short, very sci-fi looking carbines that they have there. I really liked them. I gave them helmets as well, just so they had that little bit more military look, a little bit more military than the rest of my crew, just so that I know at a glance who they are. You'll notice as well, I've got on some of the models, I've stuck little rocks on their bases, and that's just like to say that's like Trooper 1, 2 and 3, and some of the other models that may end up with duplicates in the future have also got rocks stuck on their base, and they're just made from a bit of sprue chopped up to look like a rock, just trimmed it down and made it rock shape and glued it on the base. This last guy here is our runner. It was actually quite hard to make a model from that kit look like it was running. I did want to make him look like he was running because he's the runner. Couldn't quite pull it off. But to show that he's kind of the dog's body of the crew, he's got a container to carry about. It's like an ammo box he's got to run about with. He'll maybe give the Grenadier some extra ammo or something. But I think alongside the medic, he should work quite well because they've both got that movement 7 going on. When picking a colour scheme, I wanted to try and give them quite a clean uniform appearance, just to give you the impression you're dealing with like a well-organised crew. In the end, I was quite happy with the colour scheme and just sticking to primary colours for the bulk areas. Definitely gave them kind of a Star Trek feel, or kind of like a retro spaceman kind of vibe. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something kind of old sci-fi feeling about the yellow and blue, and I'm not sure why. Maybe they look like the Fantastic Four or something, or maybe something out of Fallout Shelter. Maybe I've been playing too much Fallout. Anyway, the colours I used were from Coat d'Arms. It's a mixture of their fantasy range of paints and their military range. And the shading was done with Daler-Rowney inks. The last thing I made for this crew were some holographic walls for the captain, or maybe his drone, to create on the battlefield, just to block some enemy line of sight. And for these, it was really simple. Just cut out some 6 by 3 inch rectangles of foam core and stuck some holographic card on either side, and then hot glued that down onto a base made of foam core and painted the base brown and stuck some flock on it, and that was done. So there you have it. That's our high-tech crew led by our Tekker captain. Only used 10 models out of the box, so I do have another 10 models from that box left to make up, and I think I'm going to make them slightly different. These guys ended up looking really quite heroic. They definitely look like old school good guys. I'd like to have a go at trying to make something completely different out of what's left in that box, and I'll make a video of that as well. So if you'd like to catch that, it's a good idea to hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. It'd be awesome.